Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Adeze Chimsum. So guys, today I'm going to show us how to draft a princess cut bustier. Okay, so this is the measurement we'll be using. You take your round bust measurement, your shoulder measurement, your shoulder to your nipple point or your bust point measurement, your round bust and your shoulder to the under bust measurement, and your half length. So guys, for the princess cut, we are going to be taking, I use from the shoulder to the nipple point, I use 10 inches, and from the shoulder to the under bust, I use 12 inches. From the shoulder to the half length, I use 17.5 inches. Okay, I added extra half an inch for my sewing allowance. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to show us here. I've gone ahead to mark our neckline, which is 3 inches wideness and 3 inches depth. Okay, I marked that, and our shoulder measurement, which is 14 inches divided by 2, 7 inches. I marked that, and I came down by half an inch, which is going to serve as our shoulder slant, and I'm going to draw the line down. Okay, so from the shoulder slant, we are going to come down by 7, which is our round armhole. My round armhole, sorry, 8. My round armhole is 16 divided by 2, 8. So I'll be marking 8 and draw the line to the edge. Okay, so after that, guys, we are going to rule that's our armhole line. Okay, and then give it a curve. After that, we are going to mark our nipple to nipple measurement. Oh, my armhole line is not straight. Make sure while cutting that yours is very straight. Okay, I'm sorry. So for the nipple point line, we are going to mark our bust point to bust point measurement. Okay, so, or you call it your nipple to nipple measurement. So mine is 8 inches for the nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, so nipple divided by 2, 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4 inches, but I'm going to be adding extra half an inch to it. Okay, instead of marking 4 inches as my half of nipple to nipple measurement, okay, I'm going to add extra half inches for the sewing. As you can see, my measurement, I have my nipple to nipple 8 inches. Okay, divided by 2, which is 4. Okay, so I'm going to mark that same 4.5, that extra half inches for our sewing on the chest line. Not really necessary to mark it on the chest line. You can just start on the nipple point line. Okay, so 4.5 there and 4.5 on the nipple point line. So just follow me. Okay, you understand. 4.5 again on the nipple point line, and then when we come to the under bust line, we are going to subtract half inches. Okay, so instead of 4.5, we are going to mark 4 inches on the under bust. Do you get that? So then when we come to the half length, we are going to subtract another half inches. Okay, which is going to be 3.5. Remember, on the under bust we have 4 inches. Here on the half length, we are going to be marking 3.5 inches. Okay, so we remember a princess cut comes through the armhole or the armpit side. Okay, this me, I've given my neckline a curve. Sorry, I missed that in the video. So remember, a princess cut comes through the armhole side. Okay, so you can get half of your armhole. Mine is 8. Okay, so half of it is 4, but I'm using 3 inches. Okay, I do not want to use 4. So from that shoulder slant, we are going to come down by 3 inches. Okay, and then connect the lines. Okay, connect those lines marked on the chest line, the nipple point, the under bust, and the half length. Okay, so next we are going to come down from where we marked our 3 inches. We are going to come down by 1.5 inches or 2 inches. This is just to create a dart. Okay, and then to give us the cup shape, the princess cut cup shape. Okay, so we marked, I use 1.5. Then from the 1.5 to the nipple point, on the nipple point line I didn't mark anything, I just left it there, as you can see. But on the under bust, I came in by 1 inches, and then on the half length I came in by 2 inches. So I'm going to connect those lines from the 1.5 close to that 3 inches to the under bust, and from the under bust to the half length. Okay, remember in the half length I used 2 inches, and on the under bust I used 1 inch. On the nipple point line I didn't use anything. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to draw the armhole curve. Okay, then from that second line where we marked 1.5 inches, remember, from there we are going to come up by 2 inches. If you don't do this, you'll find out that when you're sewing your princess cut, that your material is being shortened, is not going to be enough to sew the cup, okay, or to sew the princess cut blouse. So you must come up with 1.5 inches or 2 inches, as I did. So you just mark a dot, remember, on that dot line. Okay, so after that we're almost done with our princess cut. We are going to be taking our round bust measurement. I have mine as 35 inches divided by 4. I'll mark that and add extra 3 inches sewing allowance. Okay, 3 inches is enough for me. I can't add more than that or less. I just need that. 3 inches is enough for me. Okay, so remember, on the chest line and also on the nipple point line, I'm going to be marking the same thing, 35 inches divided by 4. You take yours, you take your own round bust measurement divided by 4, you mark it and add extra 3 inches sewing allowance. Okay, that's what I did. Then on the under bust, I have my under bust as 34 divided by 4. I marked it and added 3 inches extra allowance. And then on the half length, I divided my half length, which is 30 inches. My half length around, I measured my waist measurement, which is 30 inches divided by 4. You go ahead and do yours divided by 4, and you mark it and add extra 3 inches allowance. So when we're done doing that, we are going to join the lines, and that's it for the princess cut. Okay, so here I'm just marking ½ inch just to give it a nice curve there. Okay, so that's just for the shape. And then remember, the 1.5 we came up with, they're going to be having a new armhole. Okay, so we are going to draw a new armhole. Just watch as I do it, okay, and do exactly what I did on your pattern paper or your material. But it's good you draw this on your pattern paper first. Then remember that while cutting this, please make sure you leave 1.5 inches or just 1 inches on your main material, okay, by the size, especially not on the length. Okay, you're okay with the length, but when cutting it, placing it on your material, make sure to leave extra 1.5 or 1 inches, okay, allowance. Don't cut exactly what you have on the paper on your material. So that's it, guys. We'll move on to cut the back side of the princess cut. Okay, this is the front side, looking nice. For the back, you can just cut your normal body, your basic body pattern. Okay, but here I'm going to show us how to draft a princess cut, that for the back. Okay, so guys, here we are for the back piece. I've gone ahead to draw the nipple point line. Do not really necessary, but we just have to do that. Okay, so from the shoulder to the nipple point, and I use 10 inches still, and then on the shoulder to half length I use 17 inches instead of 17.5 I use in the front. So On the zip side, I came in by 1/2 inches for our zipper. Okay, don't make that mistake. You have to really do that. After that, all our measurement is going to start from the zip line. Okay, do not start from the edge. Even if you're going to start from the edge, as I'm doing now, I'm going to mark the neckline, which is 3 inches. Okay, but if you're going in, if you're starting from the edge of the material, that should be 4 inches. Remember, we used 1 inch for our zip. Okay, but for this video, I'm going to be taking mine from the zip line, which is 3 inches, and I came down by 1.5, just 1 inches. Okay, that's enough for me because I want mine to be a high neck dress. So we are going to do that and mark our shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 14 inches divided by 2, 7. I'm going to mark that and then come down by 1/2 inch for our shoulder slant. So guys, from the shoulder slant, I've gone ahead to measure our round armhole, which is 16 divided by 2, 8. So I marked that. Please ensure to draw your line to the edge. I don't know why I have to stop halfway. Okay, please ensure to draw yours to the edge and mark that as your chest line. Okay, so I make sure it's straight. Mine's not looking so straight, so make sure it's straight, and then you're going to give it that armhole curve. Okay, try to use your French curve if you have one, but I'm using a freehand sketching. Okay, so guys, remember we marked 3 inches from the shoulder slant for the front. We're going to do the same now. I've already gone ahead to do that. I marked 3 inches from the shoulder slant, and then on the nipple point line, I went ahead to mark same thing we did in the front, which is 4.5. And then on the half length, I went ahead to mark 3.5 inches. Okay, and I'm going to connect those lines. So guys, from the half length, from that line on the half length, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches or 2 inches. Okay, so from that 2 inches line, you're going to come up by 6 inches. This will serve as our dart. Okay, our princess cut that. So from there, I'm going to connect that line. So from here guys, we are going to be marking our horizontal measurements. Starting from the nipple line, we are going to be taking our round bust measurement divided by 4, and we'll mark that and add extra 3 inches allowance like we did in the front. We come down to the half length, we take our round waist measurement divided by 4 and add extra 3 inches allowance. Then we are going to connect the lines, and that's it. Next, we go ahead to cut the lines. Cut it, and make sure when cutting on the material, remember to leave 1.5 inches or 2.5 or 1 inch, okay, on the material. Don't cut exactly what you have on the paper on your material. So guys, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you enjoyed watching, if you learned something from it, please do not forget to like the video, drop a comment in the comment section. And that's it for a princess cut blouse, how to cut the front and the back. So remember to open up your zip line, okay, on your material and also on the pattern paper or just on your material. So thank you so much as you enjoy the rest of the video. See you in my next one. Bye.